just shaped it, ground it flat, and rough ground the bevel in. So I'm going to coat it with anti-scale compound now, because I need to stress relieve this knife. I'm going to attempt a water quench, partial water quench or partial brine quench, and then into the oil. See if I can just get the best out of this Hamon. Hope it doesn't crack. I've got my blade clayed up, ready. And what I'm doing is I've got a tin of brine solution that's warm, and I've got my oil ready and that's warm. I'm just waiting for my little forge oven to get up to 800 degrees bang on. I'm just going to try and hold it, stabilise it at 800. Get the knife into the brine water solution. Tink tink, hopefully not, and then into the oil. The pigeons are cheering us on in the background. Let's do it. Okay, so it's had its 2.5 minutes in here. I know I'm risking it on a blade this thin, trying to quench in water, but he who dares wins, or he who dares breaks. 2 chances. Here we go. I didn't hear it tink. That's not to say it's not cracked, of course. But I'm hoping that slightly faster quench in the water will have sort of really set the Hamon in this. Oh well, we'll see. I was very tempted to leave it in for a fraction, say 1 full second, but oh, hey, if this works out alright, then maybe next time I'll try 1 full second. If that works out okay, I'll maybe try 2 seconds. I'll keep pushing it, keep pushing the envelope until it does tink. Then I'm going to know what's safe, what's not safe. I know the temperature in the kiln was bang on 800. Held it there lovely for about 3 minutes, 2.5 to 3 minutes. I've also, before quenching, I've sort of stress relieved the blade, and then I've refined the grain as well in there by descending temperatures, letting the blade cool, descending, letting the blade cool. I've done that 4 times, so the blade's really set up for the Hamon, hopefully. I don't know what's going to happen here. I'll tell you what, there's some beautiful colours in there. I've not seen that before. As yet, I can't see any cracks. Look at that. Yeah, and colours, stunning. Wow. Let's get it cleaned up. Give it a sand. See if there's any tinks. And get it tempered. That's my 65 Rockwell file. Which is not making an impression on it. That is hard. There we go. Absolute utter garbage. Little bit of a Hamon on the front end. That is it. nothing else anywhere on the blade. So I don't know what went wrong there. Don't know if it's the temperature, certainly not the clay. Could be something to do with the water quench or the temperature. Maybe try a bit of a lower temp, say 7 something instead of 8. I'll say 750. I'll try it at that. I'll have to go again. So I've finished on this W2 bushcrafty type knife. Ended up having to quench this 3 times, this blade. I'd been reading, and I'd been reading where people had said that quenching at a lower temperature would produce a better Hamon. I'm sorry, that's not right in this case for this steel, because it produced an absolute garbage and an absolutely zero Hamon. So my third quench, I went back up to 810 or 15 degrees, quenched it, got a Hamon. It's not beautiful. It's beautiful. It's not exactly what I wanted, but it's a Hamon. There's some nice activity on the ashy. It could, like I've said before on this, if I knew more about polishing, I could probably bring that out better. But it looks nice, that. I need to understand fully why the Hamon, or why the temper line really is so far down on the blade. I don't quite understand that, because I clayed this blade quite high, sort of on that bevel there. But I guess I'll figure that out. Yeah, so I made some canvas or cloth micarta up a couple of weeks ago, and this is the first time I've used it. I've just put it on this blade. I also made some paper, like goldy yellow coloured paper micarta, which I've used as liners on this as well. I do like it. It looks really nice actually. It looks just like timber, and that was a black and a green material, two different materials. I just layered them. I think it was 2 layers of black, 1 layer of green, like you would Damascus. But that's the result. That's the end of the knife. This I've also come to understand. If you imagine that the blade was like that in the forge when it was getting ready for quenching, okay, and the heat was passing along this side. Foolishly, I had the blade to one side of the forge. It just, stupid things you forget to do. The blade should have been in the centre with the heat passing over the blade evenly. And what's happened is, during the quench, or probably quite possibly before the quench, the blade has got a bit of a turn in it, a bit of a bend, and I tried to get rid of that bend through tempering. I bent it the other way. I actually tempered this blade 3 or 4 times, and I just couldn't remove all of that curve out of the blade. So it's just another lesson learned. It's a blade I'm going to keep now, this, just to remind me about that. And you can possibly see there that there is, perhaps if I do it that way, yeah, you can see that. You can just see a slight bend, a slight curve in the blade now. The blade's just turning that way slightly. You can actually just see it there on the liner. But that, I'm not too keen on working on that with that micarta. It's a messy process. It's very dusty. It's a difficult material to work, but it does look nice, and it's a good, I suppose, very durable handle. So that's a keeper. Right, the other little knife I mentioned when on my last making some knives video was this one with the elm burl. Look at the Hamon on this. Oh my god, it's beautiful. I don't know. I just don't know how I achieved this Hamon. I have no idea. The ashy on it is absolutely gorgeous. You see it? Incredible. It's a beautiful Hamon. And like I say, this was tempered, this was, sorry, quenched at 810, 815 degrees. And I can't understand why the difference between them two blades. But, you know, I'm going to have to figure this out. I'm going to have to work it out. A lot of these things, you have to sort of work them out for yourself. But I love that blade, and I'm, you know, as I said, that I'm making this knife for a neighbour of mine who's requested it as a gift for a friend of his, and it's stunning. I absolutely love it. And look at that timber, it is gorgeous. I mean, it is drop dead stunningly beautiful. That elm burl, wow. I really don't want this blade to go. It is gorgeous. It's a beautiful size knife. Just fits. Oh, the fit in your hand is amazing. I am going to make another one of these for myself now because I just can't live. I just cannot live with a knife like that in my life. Yeah, amazing little knife. Beautiful thing. It's got some red liners on it. I think they're red. I'm colourblind, by the way, if I haven't mentioned this before, so I do struggle with colours. Yeah, it's got some red liners on there. But that elm burl is wow. I could have fully filled this with sanding residue, but I didn't. I've just left some of them little pits and crevices just open because I think it looks nice, because you can just see nature in the raw a bit better. That side is gorgeous. Look at it. God, isn't it beautiful? Beautiful little knife. Couple that with that Hamon, and wow. Very pleased, very pleased with that knife. Again, every time I make a nice knife, I think that's the nicest knife I've made. But it's something about Hamons. They really get to me. I don't know what it is. Looking at that I think that is nicer than any Damascus pattern on the planet. that Hamons just do something for me. It's kind of primeval. It's beautiful. It's lightning running through the steel. It's just gorgeous. But yeah, getting carried away a bit there. Well, that's two finished. I've just got to make sheaths for them too. So that was just a quick update on them knives. I'm about to do a video because a lot of people have asked me about forge welding and pattern welding, getting metal to stick together. So I'm about to do a video which I'll hopefully get up this weekend. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how, for anyone who's interested, how you stick steel together in a forge. And what I'm going to do, I've got a couple of pieces of steel here. There's a big old chunk there, probably 12mm thick of spring steel, which I've cut off from an old leaf spring, and there's a big old chunk of mild steel there. He's probably about 3/8 of an inch thick, whatever that is in millimeters. And I'm going to weld it. I'm going to forge weld it to that. I'm going to wrap that mild steel around and forge weld it to that side, and then I'm going to forge it out as a small Viking axe, a little very skinny, slender, beautiful cutting axe, which is probably more suited to say a like a camping size axe, a nice little lightweight axe. So that is what I'm going to do on the next video. We're going to turn that into an axe. And one thing I will say, spring steel, wow, hard stuff, really tough to move, very difficult in that thickness to move under the hammer. But as I say, going back to the original video, what I'm going to do is a video on welding steel together. How the method I have learned through a bit of pain and a bit of torture, how to stick this together, how to stick it together so it does not open up. And if you follow the steps in the video, you too should be able to stick steel together in a forge. Okay, There's the two knives, two Hamons, one beautiful, one semi-beautiful. There is a difference, look at the difference in them, wow. But I don't know, has this blade lost some of the carbon content through you know, repeated heatings, trying to refine that grain and trying to bring out the best in that Hamon? I don't know. Whereas that was one attempt and that's what came out. That was something like four attempts and all the tempering and stress relieving heats in between. I don't know, no idea, but I do know which knife I like the most out of them two. That top one is absolutely stunning. Thanks for watching. See you soon.